Hello my loves, welcome to my first YouTube channel, Eternal Takes with Anna. As you can tell, my name is Anna, and today I'm gonna do my first video and we're gonna talk about lessons that you can take from being mistreated, or just life advice on how people treat you, I guess. So, sorry if you hear me panting and breathing and moaning because it is and I'm on the second floor, and as you know, heat rises, so I'm choking and I'm wearing a cozy little sweater, so you already know it's hot, but the AC is super loud, so I'm not gonna keep that on. But anyway, let's get to the video. The first most important lesson about being mistreated to me is that it's never about you. And you might have heard that before. And people have their own interpretation. People say their own things regarding what it means to be mistreated and where it's coming from and why people do it. But innately, there's this sense of you deserve what happened to you. There's always this thought that comes up whenever something bad happens to me, where I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do that went wrong that led to this happening to me? And the root of this, and many people also, is shame. We have been deeply conditioned as a society to just replicate shame in every behavior and every thought. And shame is okay. It's okay to have shame. And sometimes we need to shame people for what they do. We don't shame horrible people enough. That's why they continue to ruin this world. But my issue is when normal people doing normal things and just living their life and being kind and being nice to others and like doing good by society, they constantly shame themselves because they have such high moral ground. And I think it's really important that we de-shame ourselves. And I think the point I'm trying to make here for how someone mistreats you, it's never about like you. It's never about you doing something wrong that makes you deserve what happened to you. That's what leads you to be so insecure, to have no confidence and not believe in your abilities, because you always think everything bad that happens to me was meant to happen to me. And that's not always true. That doesn't have to be the case. Sometimes bad things happen to you because it's your past life's karma. Now, I'm not, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian, I don't believe in a specific religion. I think all religions have a point. We can talk about that later too in another episode. But the point is, sometimes things are out of your control. Sometimes someone has a spell on you. Sometimes it's the case of, evil eye, people wishing bad on you. And, you can knock on wood, you can burn some incense, whatever, and get rid of it. But sometimes things keep happening and you do these proactive actions to stop them from happening, but they still keep happening. And you keep asking yourself, why? Why does this have to happen now? Why me? Why me? Why me? And you don't deserve bad things. If you believe that you deserved this bad thing to happen to you, you will continue to attract bad things and you will continue to notice bad things happening to you. And the key here is realizing that mistakes, tragic events, traumatic things that happen in your life, it's never about you. If you believe in God, you can think of it as maybe it was a lesson to save me. Maybe it was a spiritual lesson meant to relieve me of my karmic debt. Or maybe it's just a cycle that I need to close out, right? We always talk about cycles. I keep seeing this be brought up more and more on social media, and I'm glad people are opening themselves up to these topics, because it took a long time for me to learn some lessons too, and I'm still working through some of them, and maybe I'll share them in a later episode too. But the point here is, do whatever you can to contextualize your trauma in, not your trauma, but just bad things that happen to you, little nuisances, little annoying things that happen, rethink them, recontextualize, and be where can this help me in my life? I'll give an example. So for me, I think I brought this up a lot with a few people in my life and my coworkers a lot also, just because I constantly at work this past year. But my grandpa's passing this past year. It was my senior year of college, and I graduated in 3 years, so I was like really excited. I was like, I'm really gonna take my third year, my last year, to be my best one and put my all into it. I'm gonna get all A's, like I'm gonna do so good. Literally first day of school, I take my first day of school picture. I'm super happy. I finished my last class. I'm going into a meeting, and I get a call from my mom that like, okay, we're gonna book a flight to Germany because your grandpa's like going to the hospital and like it's not looking good. And I was devastated. Like I was like, it felt like everything was starting, and then there was just this like immediate like pause. And it was a huge pause. It was just like this silence that took over, and like I still get a little emotional talking about it, but I've cried a river since then. This was like September too, so it's been 9 months, I would say. It gets to a point where what I learned from that bad thing that happened, it wasn't like, why did this happen to me? Of course that was my first thought. You're more than welcome to have human reactions, but logic needs to take over at some point, because emotions can rule over your life, but your reactions can dictate what people think of you, can dictate your life direction, the choices that you make. So logic is very important here after you have that first emotional reaction, as you rightfully do. And I realized after a while, like, that had to happen because my grandpa can't live forever, and I had to learn the very important lesson of putting my family first. I realized that work and jobs, my resume, my constant need to achieve something, to mean something to people, my desire to be known, to be someone, and to have academic accomplishments, like, that doesn't mean anything if I don't show up for people, if I don't show up for my village, right? And that was the moment that kind of changed me too, because it really made me realize, like, what if I was dying and I wanted to see my grandkids for the last time, and they're over here calling me, talking about, oh, I have school, I have this. Drop your school, you can always make up a class. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. So basically the point is, I recontextualized that life lesson. I recontextualized that situation, and I realized it's not about me. My grandpa being in the hospital is not a bad thing for me, because I get to spend time with him. I get to see him. And yes, I cried 1,000 tears seeing him, because I didn't see him for 10 years. That was the last time I saw him. But I learned from it, and that's what matters. The next point that I want to make here is, when someone mistreats you, not only is it not about you, it's a lot about them. Someone mistreating you in a relationship, someone mistreating you in a friendship. And maybe I'll do like another episode just on friendships, because I've learned so many lessons, and I wish somebody sat me down and was like, this is, who your fake friends are. Because you know how moms, like, they can literally tell, they'll like literally pinpoint, they'll be like, this friend, they are the fakest person on earth. They just know, they have an eye. And I also have that same eye too. I can look at my mom's friends and I'll be like, this person's gonna stab you in the back. And I'll be right, and she'll be right too about my friends. But I think it's more so important when you don't have that motherly figure or that big sister figure, or somebody to just sit down and like tell you that information. It's important that you watch these videos and you learn from other people who have been through these experiences. Even though I'm young, I've been through like a whole lifetime of things, and I would love to share my knowledge. So I'll make an episode on friends, but just really quickly, like, when relationships, like, people mistreated me, not only did I take it personally, I thought, oh, I deserved it. It crushed me. It took all of my self-confidence. It took everything out of me, to the point that I was looking for friendships, I was looking for relationships, and like forcing situations to happen because I was so desperate to be seen and loved. And I'm here to tell you now, if that is you, you might not even realize it, but like you need to sit down and ask yourself, like, who am I reaching out to and why? Why am I constantly chasing people that want nothing to do with me? Sometimes your friends will only respond to you because they feel bad for you. They're not really your friends. Sometimes people will not even make plans with you. They'll say yes to you trying to make plans with them, and they'll never reciprocate that energy. And you'll always be wondering, why doesn't anybody care about me? Because those aren't your rightful friends, and you're forcing something to happen. So my next point is, don't force stuff to happen, because you're just projecting yourself. You're projecting your insecurities onto a person and expecting them to reciprocate so that you feel better about yourself and you feel loved and you feel appreciated. Why do you want to feel that way? Like, genuinely, why do you want to feel loved and appreciated? And that sounds like a rhetorical question, but it's a real question. Like, I can answer it. Like, for me, I want to feel loved and appreciated because I deserve it. I know that I'm capable of loving someone just as much as, I can love myself, and that's why I deserve it. If that's not your answer, if your answer is like, well, I just like the feeling of being loved and appreciated, but are you willing to pour that into yourself so much that you can also pour into someone else while not forgetting about yourself? That's the real question. And sometimes people can't even handle that. Once you get into like your 20s, like genuinely me turning 20 like changed my life. Like I was like, wait, like I'm hella mature. But no, like genuinely it made me rethink my relationships, my friendships, and how much effort I was putting into them, because I was like, wait, I can drop people and like never have to think of them again, and I can just focus on myself. I can focus on school, I can focus on getting this bag and working and building up my resume. Like, that's awesome. Why wouldn't I want to do that? But it comes with a sense of loneliness. Of course you're going to be lonely. And I was lonely for a very long time, but when you're so lonely, you get used to it. After a while, you just have nothing to do but be with yourself. And if you can't stand yourself, how do you expect other people to stand being alone with you? So I think, we diverge into 10 different directions. So the point is, don't force relationships to happen. Another caveat I'll add to this: if someone wants to break up with you, I've been in situations where I've broken up with someone, they've tried to force me to stay, or I've been broken up with and I've contemplated like justifying it or like asking them to stay. Let me just be clear on something. When I say don't force relationships, that also means when a relationship has come to an end, even if it's not the end for you, it's the end for them. And therefore that's the end of both of your stories together. And if you were to, let's say like your significant other is trying to break up with you, and you say no, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do something to myself, like, how could you do this? All of these memories that we've spent together, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's one thing to try your best to save a relationship. If you're like working through a problem, that's a different thing. It's a different thing when somebody's like, I'm done, like, stop. No more. Like, you messed up, I don't want to hear from you again, this and this and that. It's done. They're literally telling you it's done. And you're threatening them, you're blackmailing them, you're asking them to stay. Like, why would you even want that? No matter how lonely you are, it doesn't make sense to me logically. Like, yes, emotions make sense, and I love to talk about emotions, but at the end of the day, I will always bring it back to logic, because it's like, when you reach your 20s, it just has to do with the logic, because now we can't you know, waste time anymore. I'm not a teenager. I'm not playing about my time. I'm trying to build my life and my career right now. So the real question is, if I'm so lonely that I have to beg someone to stay, what does that say about my worth? And how can I be okay with myself after that? Like, knowing that I'm forcing someone to stay with me. Not that I've done this. That's why I'm giving the advice, because I've seen other people do it. I've had other people try to do it to me, and it just doesn't look good. It's embarrassing. Yeah, like if someone tries to end things with you, you know, you can try to work through the problem, but after a while you just have to let it go and let it be and move on, because you become codependent, and now your entire source of happiness, your entire sense of self-worth is dependent on this one person who could not care less about you, who hates you for whatever reason. If you treated them wrong, or if they're delusional, you know, just, you have to learn to let things be. Even if it hurts, you're upset, you wish you could be with them, you've imagined your whole life with them, now your dreams and your whole life, your future life has come crumbling down on you. Like, it hurts, of course, but you just have to let it go. And it's really hard. Like, the first, depending on how long the relationship was, like if it was like a month, you know, a week, that's fine. But, you know, 6 months, I would say like a couple months. It would take even like 6 months fully. Years, you know, take your time to heal from stuff, and don't jump into things too. Because I think that's grounds also. The next point is, if you're not fully moved on from a situation, you forcing yourself to be moving on from a situation, it's not going to end well, because you're going to mistreat someone because you haven't learned your lesson yet. You haven't moved on yet. And I don't think moving on is about forgetting someone. I think of moving on as, I don't reminisce about the person in a positive way. I might every now and then think about someone in my past life, in like middle school, high school, or early college. Like, I might think about them, that like the relationship ended or the friendship ended. I'm like, oh, like, but the real important question is, what's the next thought that comes after that? Do I remember all the good memories or the bad? And if I know that that person mistreated me, why are you deliberately trying to remember the good things that they did to you when they did a horrific thing to you, even if it was at the end, even if it was like one thing compared to 10 other good things? That bad thing impacted you so much that's left you, you know, still thinking about them afterwards. Why are you holding on to that? The good things. It's over. You need to move on with your life. You need to be present. So you need to force. Sometimes it's, I did this too. Like when I was having trouble moving on. Sorry guys, it's really hot in here, and I don't want to turn on the AC because, oh my god, it's gonna hurt. But the point is, like, sometimes you have to force yourself to remember the bad things they did to you, so you get secondhand embarrassment of, why did I sit through that? You know, why did I accept this? And also what helps me too, when someone mistreats me and I'm kind of justifying it for myself so I can like stay with them and like be less lonely, you know. What I like to do, it takes me a while to do this, but I'll open up to my friends about it. And hear me out. Like, I don't, obviously people tell their friends certain information, but I don't like to tell too many people about my love life or who I'm talking to or things like that. Or if like a friendship ends or something. I like to kind of like sit with it for a while and kind of process it myself, talk to my therapist maybe, and then tell other people. But after I've like done that, I go to my friends and I recount the bad experiences with them. Not to turn them against the person, because usually my justification is my friends usually don't know the people in my love life, so it's fine. It's not like I'm turning friends against each other. But I just sit there and I recount the bad experiences. And I watch to see their reactions, to see how bad it was. Because if you have true friends, and that's like, you have to tell your real friends. If you tell just anybody, like, they cannot give you the real reaction you need. Because I'm the type of person, if you come to me as a friend and you tell me something you've been through, I will react to every situation that has happened, and I will let you know my true thoughts too. You know, nicely. I'm not gonna like be brutal, but you know, sometimes tough love is required, and sometimes you need someone's honest opinion if you ask for it. And you have to be around those friends more often in those situations, especially after it ends, because you can't be seen going back to your ex. You cannot be seen going back to your old friends, asking for a second chance, asking them to reconsider, considering the fact that you didn't do them wrong. They're the one who ended it, or they're the one that made a big catastrophe, and now you're left a mess, right? You have to pick yourself back up together, not by the bootstraps. Like, I need you, the bootstraps, the bootstraps. You need to go to your friends, rely on your support system, go to a therapist. If you have a family, your chosen family, talk to them, talk to people you trust, not to people who belittle you or bring you down, and tell them, because you not only want to see their reaction, let their reaction impact you. And that's the thing too, because some people, they don't tell people about what's going on in their life because they don't want to be like judged for it. What does that tell you about what you're going through? Like, genuinely, and this is coming from someone who's been through some horrific situations, like, what? You need to see their reactions, because that will let you know how bad it really is from an outside perspective. And then you will raise your standards. You will be like, oh, actually, I might have justified it because I had love for this person, and I put them on a pedestal, and you know, I desired them so much I forgot about myself. But their reaction will bring you back to life, and that's what has worked for me. So maybe that's not the way for you, but sometimes you need to be judged. Sometimes judgment is a good thing. So that's kind of where I'm going. Like, you know, don't take stuff personally. Learn from whatever you can, learn from whatever bad things happens to you, and recontextualize it, rethink it, be logical about it, and be grateful for it. Take your lesson, and then don't force things. Let yourself be lonely, let yourself suffer, and move on. Be present. Do things that make you uncomfortable, so that you are forced to be in the present moment, so that you are forced to rethink your decisions and wonder, am I in the right place? Because sometimes you need that. If you're being mistreated, sometimes you need to be taking an audit, an internal audit, and sometimes other people should be checking on you. Other people should be judging you, so that you realize, oh wait, like, this isn't okay. And when I say judge, like, I don't mean, oh, you're a horrible person, like, how could you do this? You're so disgusting. Like, they don't have to be, you know, judgmental, like, in that sense where it's like degrading you, but just like reactions. You know, I love a good facial expression, and I love making facial expressions, and I love when other people make facial expressions. That tells me all I need to know. You can say nice words to me, but your face tells me everything I need to know. So that's what I mean by judgment. I don't mean like harsh words, but that can work for some people too. I don't like being degraded, but anyway. And then I think my last lesson for today is not only that if you can't articulate your mistake or a tragedy that happened to you and what you learned from it, if you can articulate that, not only have you not moved on, you also haven't learned anything from it. And in everything that I do, I try to be optimistic. In my lowest moments, I may post sad things, I may say sad things, and I may be doom and gloom, but there's always a tiny little ounce of hope beneath it all, that things will change for the better. And that has really helped me in learning to articulate the lessons, articulate the mistakes I've made proudly, articulate the lessons I've learned proudly, and to be able to teach it to others, to sit here and preach to the choir. So if you know all this information, you're like, wow, that was a waste of my time. Good for you, leave a like. But if you learn something new and you're like, wow, like I need to take an audit, then great. Let's like sit down and open up your notes app, you know, rethink your friendships, rethink your relationships. It's hard. Like it really makes you be like, damn, the people I love the most are the fakest. It really is your own people. It really is your own community it's the first to turn their back on you. But that's why there's so many people in the world. That's why you have to be open to experiencing so many new people, so many new environments, and sometimes you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone to be where you need to be. And different eras have different people in them, just like how, you know, Friends is, or Sex and the City, you know, like the two shows, there's different people in their lives in every era of them, in every season, right? So I like to think of that for me too. Like these movies, these shows are based on real life. Yes, sometimes they depict unrealistic things, and you know, we can't draw too much of a comparison because it's a movie. But what I do compare myself to is their friendships and their relationships. The people that mistreat them, they leave behind and they gain new ones. You're never going to be truly lonely because the people are going to be constantly rotating in and out of your life. And that's okay. That doesn't mean anything negative about you. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve good friends just because you're surrounded by bad ones who make you feel bad about yourself. It just means you need to take an internal audit, know where to place them in your life, and be lonely for a while until you find your crew again, without desperation, without forcing anyone to come your way or be your friend or be your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, significant other. So that's my lesson of the day. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Leave your likes, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the near future with a new video. Bye.